in that conversation, he's an absolute beast.
Look at that hard point, KD. What we never see that ever.
Nah, well, we only see it like when they play one match throughout the week.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I'm right. It is the very first match.
Overall, yeah, like a 1.9 and just respawn in general. Obviously, you see the S&D lacking there, but it doesn't even matter. It don't matter. You got a guy that's doing it all at all points. I saw Crib going up to the stage. He's like, yo, Bruce's favorite artist is Drake, so he's playing Drake on his phone, trying to get him vibey. He's like, I got to do whatever for this guy.
I'll be honest, there's not very many players in the history of Call of Duty that are able to take over maps like that. Like, you see like 1 or 2 in every single title, and Dashy, seriously, like, that first event and now just seeing that just like kind of reinvigorated that in me. Like, he really is that guy in this game who's just able to take over any map he's on, and he did that yesterday in that match. That was incredible.
And again, those are stats for one match, so we will see how they fluctuate, but I imagine they will still stay very, very high. But we need to move on, Pac. We had 100 Thieves, excuse me. And again, they got that 3-0, but it wasn't the cleanest 3-0.
If you get a 3-0, you can take what you can get first off. So congrats to them. But yeah, first map was extremely close. Reciprocity, a couple of little things went different, and they could have broken it. I feel like they probably should have once they got past the shower doors. But 100 Thieves did a great job and held them off. Game 2 went 6-5. 100 Thieves clutched up again. They lost a couple 1v2s. They probably felt like they should have won that map a little bit easier, but either way, it went down to the wire. And then Game 3, they took care of business. But that's a team that got 3rd place. So if you can 3-0 a team that made it all the way to the losers finals, you'll take it every single time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was definitely a fantastic win out of 100 Thieves. Like, just their composure, and even in that last setup and control and throughout, like, they were able to just, you know, utilize their teamwork and close these games out. It's something that, you know, previously we weren't seeing, and I didn't know if it was going to be a one-off there at Fort Worth, and, you know, they bring it right back into the league against the Reciprocity team, who really hasn't lost too much steam. I guess the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway from Rec was Dylan and Zed didn't have the best performances.
Right.
Obviously, for those guys to, you know, beat teams and take down some of the better teams in the game, those guys have to go off because they are their superstars. But we did see the superstar in Tommy, the Columbus Beast, having a great series once again. It's just going to be on Dylan and Zed to step up and play like they did at Fort Worth.
That is certainly true. Now, we do want to explain again what is going to happen with London. Of course, as we move through this cross division, these results by the end of this week will determine the seeding. It's on your screen right now for what will happen at London. And again, we've talked about you've got certain teams that are hoping for maybe that 4-0 to get that top seed, but everything right now, Nameless, is up in the air.
Yeah, this is all up in the air. You just got to go out every match and try to get that win. You're not going to really be able to know what spot you're going to be in just because you got teams like Midnight who are probably going to fall down the rankings. And, you know, Reciprocity probably going to go up. So you never know what's going to happen. You just got to try to win every game, go out there, give it your all, and just see what pool you're in and, you know, do business at London.
That is certainly true. All right, let's look at our schedule, because kicking things off today, we do have Optic Gaming versus Denial. And Jay, on the side of Denial, what is it like to go into a matchup like this as the underdog?
Well, to be an underdog in the match, I have a lot of experience.
Oh, yeah.
Playing with Nameless, doesn't matter what I was playing.
You were always the underdog.
I was basically always the underdog. So you just go in there and you just try to do as much homework as you possibly can on the team. You know how good they are. Everyone talks about how good they are. Just go in there, watch some VODs, Twitch.tvs, you know, / Call of Duty. Just tune in, man. Just start learning what you need to do and focus on your teammates. Realizing, like, all right, he's comfortable in a certain position. Let me make sure he's always doing that. Just try to make your teammates comfortable, make everything more fluent, and way easier for just all-around performance for the team.
Is there anyone? Oh.
The most important thing about being the underdog is making sure that your team has confidence within yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what everyone else says. You have that confidence, and then the other team is naturally just going to be sleeping on you. They expect to beat you as long as they play their game. You can come more prepared for that team than they are for you. And if your team believes that you can win, I've been in those positions, you can beat those teams that everyone
I think the biggest thing as an underdog, because obviously me, yourself, Jay, we've been in that position a lot. It's that first map. Like, if you come out and you can take that first map, you get so much confidence. It's like, oh, we're 2 maps away. Like, let's just roll this momentum and going forward. And versus Optic Gaming, you know, they are that team that's probably always going to be that favorite. #1 team in hardpoint score per minute and damage per minute. I mean, yeah, that's pretty sure that's just from yesterday. Obviously, it could not be from Fort Worth. But yeah, they had a great showing in hardpoint yesterday versus E6. Denial, definitely a threat. I'm excited to see this matchup.
On the side of Denial, though, Study, to go back to the underdog point, is there anyone in particular to you that kind of needs to step it up?
Well, a player for me definitely needs to step it up is definitely Whalers. Like, you have Breezy, who was sitting at a 1.4 yesterday, absolutely dominating the series yesterday. Single-handedly basically won his team that first map. But then overall, Whalers, he's your leader. He's your ICR player. He's a really important role for your team, and he's sitting at a 0.7. And that's just something that's unacceptable, something that we've never seen out of him before, even in previous pro leagues and stuff like that. Just overall, he knows what he needs to do to step it up, bring the vibes for his team, and just definitely just bring up the slam power.
I also think that Rizik needs to step up as well. Rizik, however you pronounce it, he needs to step up as well, because he was the guy for me during Pro League and also during Fort Worth who was their star. I thought he was like the guy who's, you know, the Slayer, going out there and doing that work and, you know, getting those kills. So I think if he steps up along with how Brezzy, and I thought Zeke played pretty good yesterday, at least in that first hard point, I think that they have themselves a nice little trio of Slayers there. So Rizik can kind of get back to the form he was in at Fort Worth. I think they'll be fine.
If that SOG duo steps up, like you said, and plays amazing, that seems to be Optic's weakness at this moment. The SOG duo. And then yesterday, at least, they got steamrolled in control. Like, it was really bad. So if Denial can come out with strong SOG play and take that control, they have a chance in this match.
Yeah, they have the number one. Sorry, they have the number one S&D first blood percentage as well, which definitely can give some issues to Optic Gaming on the search side. So, I mean, they're strong in some places. Optic's weekend. We'll see if they're able to kind of put a kink in that armor.
And they have certainly improved. So we will see if they have the confidence. Can they take map 1 and bring a challenge to Optic? But we are ready now to send it over to our casters, Ben and Chance.
Thank you very much, Katie. Thank you to everyone on the desk. And there's some interesting points which were just brought up. But number one, the importance of control. Obviously, you heard Name was talking a little bit about it. Well, for Denial, they're 2-11 in control since the start of the Pro League, so you can probably chalk that one away. Then you talk about the hard points, you think, all right, well, what are the maps going to be? Pretty sure map number 1, if I'm not mistaken, Chance, is Frequency, which if we get the same, yeah, there you go, Frequency. So if we get the same performance as we did yesterday from Dashi and pretty much everybody else, you can chalk map 1 up. So then you're looking at a Frequency Search and Destroy. That could honestly be the saving grace here for Denial to somehow extend this series. I think this is going to be such a quick 3-0 chance. I mean, you can start your stopwatch now. I think it's going to be 20-25 minutes.
I mean, I don't wholeheartedly disagree, but you want to talk about the frequency control? Like, yes, Denial hasn't been great, but did, like, frequency control inspire you yesterday for Optic Gaming's performance?
No,
they
not
got
at all.
completely run over. So, like, I don't want to just
2-11? 2-11?
2-11, 0-3, getting steam. Like, how do you have a team that goes from 0-3 to going 18-1 in, like, the next map? So, like, there's some sort of discourse that is not individual talent. It is not, like, player skill. Something has been going wrong in control, right? Now, I don't know how much you can fix in a day. And, of course, you're going to be fixing that more than anything because you just played it yesterday. You talk over the mistakes. But I don't want to just, like, completely give the advantage to Optic control. Like, obviously, it's going to be 80-20, 70-30, so the advantage is there.
Pretty big advantage.
But, like, what happens when you start counting Denial out? Then they go up against Spice, take them to Game 5, and then beat them in the Pro League. Then you go back to, what, the next event where Spice places second, and you think, okay, well, then Spice definitely, like, outright beats Denial. No, it went Game 5 again. Like, they play top teams close. I don't necessarily think this is going to be any different. I think Optic Gaming's a top team. I think Denial can play them close.
The one interesting thing to kind of validate your point, I guess, a little bit or somewhat, is the Game 1, the hardpoint frequency, right? We talk about how we saw Optic Gaming yesterday, just a run through that map. It was just such a one-sided game. It really wasn't close in the slightest. But for Denial, it's a weird one too, because they've lost it pretty heavily. Well, it was like a 100-point club. I think you were telling me before, they got a 100-point club back at Fort Worth, but then they played 100 Thieves and beat him on it.
Yeah, so I mean, Dashi, for example, like, just put, like, the work in yesterday against D6 right on this map, completely goes off. I think actually JP put out a stat that he had like a 2.0 rating, which means he played well enough that it is a guarantee 100% they win that match.
Cannot lose.
Like, if you perform that well, there is a 0% chance it doesn't go your way, which we've never seen. I think, like, last week we had Gunless had like a 1.93, and that was the record, and now, like, it's perfect. So that's how godlike he can be at times, and I think that's going to be a problem for Denial, is of, like, if one of those players for Optic Gaming, Karma, like, whoever has that godlike performance, then there's just nothing you can do. But on the flip side, if they play their game and stop the opponent, then there's hope, right? So, like, against D6, they get a 100-point club, but I think they beat 100 Thieves, and, like, who's the better team? And, like, it's just a tricky map. It's a tricky team to predict. It's a tricky map, and very tricky words to say. There's a tongue twister.
I don't think it's going to be that tricky, Chance. I don't think you have too much to worry about. If Optic Gaming start the same way they did yesterday, yeah, this is going to be quick. And, well, we have to start on board with Dashi, and we'll see if we're on board with him for as long as we were yesterday. A good start for him as he finds the first. Shots into the second. Hill time already in favor of Optic Gaming. Waylo's going for the little challenge from Elbow, but not going to be able to do too much because it's Karma that's already pushed through.
And you got to keep in mind what we saw yesterday, it was the 1-2 rotation. I think they went up 40-some-odd points to nothing. Win the rotation, and it just spirals out of control. Right now, it is pure and utter domination on the first hill. 0 map control for Denial, and they're already starting to spawn out. Whalers is saying, guys, I need all the help possible. And Optic, they don't even have to be quick on this rotation because they have so much time to work with.
Karma 6-0 start, 100 away from streaks. If he gets the plus 50 from the new hill, just EKIA will do, or, you know, you just kill the guy in the old hill, whatever works. And one thing I will say is, yes, this is only the first opening moments of this new hardpoint in the series today, but yesterday, he really impressed me outside of, I think it was the Search and Destroy where he underperformed pretty heavily, and, well, maybe the control as well, but in the hardpoints, it's like watching a new man.
Yeah, okay, so map 1's chalked.
I told you.
Yeah, like that.
Told you.
So Whalers was 2-0 off the rip, but he gets a kill and then has to run back
3
and
times.
lock for spawns, and it's just brutal. Just feed him.
Let's see if Damon can beat the record he set, Gfinity. Well, I just cursed him. I'm so sorry. So sorry, Carla. But either way, a pretty substantial lead. I think it's fair to say. Would you agree with that, Chance?
What's beyond substantial? What's the next adjective in order?
Do you reckon they could be quicker in this game than yesterday?
What was the final score? 250 to
90 something, I want to say.
80. I can't remember. Nah, I can't remember. I have no idea.
Well, it was fast.
It was fast.
For once, though, Denial actually getting a little bit of hill control in this game. It's Karma with a double, and the one thing that, if you're a Denial fan, you really have to worry about is look at the minimap, look at the rotation. Yes, it's great, you finally get a little bit of time here if you're Denial, but you're not getting much. You're going to rotate at about 23 points. You're down 66 to 23. The kill feed's all green on rotation. You still have Karma with 2 streaks. He's or you would assume he would save those to pipes, so they can really put a lot of pressure down here on this third hill. Grim's duty is the hill because Scump's requested a little bit of assistance towards the back, but that's a great stun. Connects with Whalers, and there's one more there as well, which is going to be Zeke. Meanwhile, his teammates all still winning their gunfights. The trade should come through momentarily. But now have managed to sneak on into the hill.
They got the break, but I think what we saw from Optic is just a team that knows the setup. You get 2 guys in you, a guy up towards the front window, have 1 guy in the hill ready to rotate in whatever direction, a guy watch the back, and eventually the pressure does cut through the front, but again, you're keeping those back spawns the entire time, so you can be right back into the hill, so you can get all those kills to be back inside. And again, I think that's just a team that has, complete and utter map control the entire time. Like, even on the first hill, they just lock down everything. Like, they're not stacking up inside the hill, taking the gunfights close. You're going to have to kill them at least once to get to the hill to fight the next set of guys, and the guys off respawn. It's just, it's really good Call of Duty. It's about as good as it gets.
Dashi 240 away from streaks. CV is able to pick these up as he gets tagged up. Teammate there to assist. The streak's going to be used. And now Optic Gaming can fly on forward. One thing I'm curious to get your opinions on here, Chance. I don't think we've really spoken about it much throughout the past couple of years. You heard Steady mention on the desk, watching. Go back, watch the VODs. Obviously, if you deny yesterday, you saw what Optic Gaming did here, but we know it is one of their better, quote,
They
maps.
preferred. They were happy with the maps that they got.
And is that how you would approach the veto process if you were a coach of one of these league teams? Even if you know the other team is so good, if it's still one of your better maps, would you still say, all right, let's go for it?
That's a good question. I think even from both sides, does Optic Gaming want to play Seaside? That's worth a conversation. Do you want to play Frequency against Optic after what Dashi did? I can completely understand the logic of, Dashi's not going to always do that. So, that's fine. He had a great map. If that happens to us, then, we'll chalk it up. But it shouldn't happen. And to be fair, Dashi right now is just normal levels. It was Karma that happened to go godlike. And again, that's the problem with this team of, you have so much talent that it can be tough. But at the same time, Denial has done a pretty good job of dealing with a couple of the score streaks. They held on to that 4th hill. It's not as bad as it could have been. And then he come back to the 1st hill, and everyone dies.
I was going to say, normal for Dashi here is a 14-6 performance.
Yes.
Right? Over double positive. Now you have, TJ starting to string together a couple of kills. If he can find the second, that's just unfortunate timing for him. And the kill feed all white. They're now trying to fight back. 100-point deficit they find themselves in after the first rotation of hills. Risk's turn to fly on towards the hill. Has earned himself a war machine, but he tries to push through. It's Dashi, who finds himself a very simple kill. Brezzy trying to trade. Will find one. But you look at that stat line at the top, and it really is Karma 17 and 9. And Dashi 17 and 7 on the other side. Really not too many players positive. You have Natche 14 and 14, Whalers at 10 and 9. It's really Zeke who I think it was Nameless that said needed to step up a little bit at 6 and 13. Poor performance for him in game 1.
Well, I mean, gun on gun, nothing is going well for Denial, but the specialists are coming in. This is when they have to make big plays, and you got Natche pulling out the Tempest, able to connect with one so far, but has to deal with the War Machine. The trophy is out, not in the nick of time. Well, you talk about it's not going well, gun on gun. Is it going to be better for the specialist? Well, they invest everything. Breji gets 2 with the Grass Slam, another with the Sog. They also have the War Machine and Tempest they use to try and get this hill, and, well, successful so far. Of course, you have to ask yourself, is it too big an investment for not enough time? And, well, it's looking like Optic Gaming are going to be able to break through.
And the big problem with all of that investment was, yes, you do great, yes, you pick up kills, but Krim stayed alive at the back of the map. He had a teammate spawn on him. Really good stuff from him, just locking in that spawn. And now Optic Gaming thinking about that rotation. They're now already there, but they will have to concede that final 25 seconds of time. Now we're just down to 10. And once again, Optic Gaming, a 100-point lead.
I got to work at that rotation. Last time, obviously, we saw Optic Gaming, all the map control in the world. This time, Denial's going to be the first one towards the hill. They're going to have one player sit inside. 2 guys watch the back. Natche is the first one there. Doesn't win the one-on-one. Has Whaler, though, for the trades, who can find 2. Scump, of course, is the third man in, but he gets taken down as well. So the first push coming in from Optic does get stuffed. All the players spawning out by 4th. And, well, here's a different question. Denial now has 2 players watching the flank. There is no pressure coming to the back end. It's all up the front. How quick can these guys rotate over? Because Whaler is going to have to start making moves inside because you get a Sog watching over towards you. Karma, though, gets taken down. Denial holding on, looking good so far, Ben.
You don't have to rotate if your teammates inside the hill win all the gunfights. It makes it very easy. As there is a couple of potential for streaks here for Denial. Risk on a 5 streak. Really now the only one, as Zeke does fall. And streaks here could be massive. The problem, 9 bullets, has to pick up the Maddox. Now back in towards the hill. Honestly, if he just parks his bus here for a second, there's the lightning strike. And he can work towards the Hellstorm. Denial, who were heavily down, find their way back in.
I got the lightning strike to what? Force players out of the hill potentially. I think one guy, Dashi, was actually kind of sitting around to bait to make sure he does call it in. So you don't have to worry about it later. You got a triple challenge. Crimsix is just going to die. Nothing you can do there. So use the Tempest, or the lightning strike, excuse me. A little bit of clearance, and you get inside the hill. Only down by 40 points, Ben. This is obviously doable.
Yeah. Most definitely is. You still have, of course, that Hellstorm in case Optic do break through, which is looking very likely if, well, he didn't invest the Grav Slam. Thought for a moment that could be his opening. Risk backs away once again, controlling top middle, one more up top. Hey, you don't always have to shot punch. Sometimes the punch shot works out. It does in that situation. And Risk has really started to turn things around at 22 and 16. You needed someone to really step up to the slaying plate, and he's been Denial's man so far.
It's worth pointing out, you talk about the specialist. Dashi at some point pulled out the Tempest, did not get great use of it. So TJ and Krim each sitting on mares. And of course, for the flip side, Zeke is creeping up on that Vision Pulse. And, well, they get another TAC 5, but the TAC 5s, you'll see quite a few of those. But the first hill has been completely and utterly dominated by Optic Gaming. TJ inside is going to find 3. You can see why. The trade there for the 4th. Risk does call in a Hellstorm, but the Grass Slam, well, it comes out on top.
Oh, and the Scump was trying to use his TAC 5. He gets shut down, and Denial retake control of the first hill. Karma sliding in, has the support of TJ, but stuns galore. And the kill's still in favor of Denial. 30 seconds left. Hill still contested. And as you can see, Brezzy at this point is saying, all right, guys, I'm the only one rotated here. You guys have to either, flood the hill and then push through, or one of you just has to rotate and try and help me out.
And Optic Gaming should know now. Because they start spawning out to where that 4th hill is up at the top of the minimap, they know they don't have pressure in the back, so they know they got to hunt someone down. But this did happen the first time around. It was Whalers in the back with an ICR. They found him. They killed him. Brezzy has a Sog. Yes. These are not easy gunfights to win. They're trying to hunt him down. They got 2 players coming for him, and they got stuns. He does have Vision Pulse, but he does get traded out as well. But Zeke, of course, with the Vision, they're desperate for this next hill, and Risk his second War Machine, trying to pour it on through.
That's not that bad. Taking down at least 2 more players from Optic Gaming at the back as Denial swarm, and all of a sudden, what looked like it was going to be a relatively straightforward game number 1. There's been a bit of a change in the storyline. Denial about to take the lead for the very first time. They cannot win it here, but they can put themselves within 20 points of closing out game number 1 from to quote you yesterday, the depths of hell, quite literally here.
Well, see if they can continue at risk. Nearly able to find a third. A team kill comes in, but I don't think it'll make a difference. It's only Crim by himself who's able to win one, but you got bodies in the hill quicker for Denial. Crim doing a really good job of staying alive, waiting for his teammates so they can make their move, but this is all fighting for 10 seconds, which of course Optic can do because they will have those spawns over for next, but they don't get too much out of it. So as the situation stands, from nowhere, Denial now 27 points, and the game is there, but Optic Gaming, well, they can also win it here. They have the setup they want, once again.
This comes down to that perfect setup that you broke down earlier on, but speaking of breaking, there's 2-3 players already dead. Karma is going to earn his War Machine, and realistically, this could be the play to try and secure game number one. As Dashy jumps up, he falls. Now it's still Optic spawning at the back, but it is Denial in the hill. Brezzy with a grab slam. Another player goes down. 20 more points, and there is the War Machine. It's ironic because the trophy was down, but the trophy shuts down Brezzy. As the hardpoint still in Denial control. Karma waiting to rattle off some more shots. Connects with one, that's Flag. The contest comes through. But again, if Denial win the following gunfights, they can close out here. Finally a break from Optic Gaming.
They got to hold on for a few more seconds. It looks like no one from Denial is nearby. We will see another hill and Dashy as the Tempest once again. The setup is here. You got four players pushing towards him, and no time to even pull it out. He's just going to get dropped. 2 kills coming for Denial. They're moving towards the hill. Optic Gaming are here. Zeke win his one-on-one. Scump is trying to get the trades. The trades are there, and TJ picks up 2. Optic in the hill.
And Dashy's going to have to use that Tempest very quickly. In fact, he's pulled it out. Connects with the first. What else can he find? 240 to 230. Optic Gaming trailing by 20, but inside the hill. You still have Scump patrolling around, and if you're Dashy, now you know the contest is going to come from top mid, and exactly where Scump was, but Karma's still there with the support. 240, 239. Denial breaking. It's their turn to try and control the hill. Risk still alive. A 2-piece for Brezzy, and that should seal the deal from game 1. Chance, I cannot believe, you have the biggest grin as if to say, I told you so. I cannot believe from how that game 1 started to how that game 1 ended, the Denial were able to come out with that W.
I mean, it almost makes perfect sense to a certain degree. Not perfect sense in terms of expectations, but outside of godlike performances from someone from Optic Gaming, which Karma absolutely at the start was 9-0, started 11-2, fully streaked out, but outside of that, again, you expected to be competitive. Denial has been competitive for quite some time now, so it's surprising the way it happened because they had to dig themselves out of such a big hole. But think about all the things that they did right. Like, look at this specialist battle between the teams. How many specialist kills did anyone from Optic Gaming get? 2 or 3? Something like that. Like, yeah, you got a Tempest kill in there. You got
3.
The Grafslime got 3, but you saw a Purifier, no use. They didn't have a Vision Pulse. So many things, it seemed like didn't make too big of an impact. But from the flip side, you had what? A 2-piece that came from the Grafslime on the other side. You had a Vision Pulse that just gave you the break on the next hill to help lock you down. You pair that with 2 War Machines that Risk actually got. So you had so much of a better use out of that. The Hellstorm even bounced back to counter the 3-piece Grafslime from TJ because Risk picked up 2. I didn't even see if Karma's like Lightning Strike and Hellstorm killed anybody. It, like, all of the little things that map, it seemed like Denial did better. The thing Optic did better was just destroy them off the rim.
I mean, when you talk about Risk, look at the stat line here in the closing few moments, 38 and 26. A great performance from him, but it was around about here when you see the Tempest use from Dashy. Scump pushes through. He's able to shut down one. You think, all right, well, surely Optic, they have this in the bag. No, Whalers spawning out. It sets up a massive, massive pinch onto the hill, and that Shake does so well to stay alive as long as he does, buying time for that pinch to fully develop. Dashy shot in the back by Whalers. Denial with the break. Risk stays alive, and then the 2-piece from Brezzy. It was over. Denial with a nice comeback. And, well, speaking of Denial, I know Jess caught up with the Denial players before game 1. Jess, what do they have to say?
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, caught up with Whalers, and, you know, he actually first opened up by talking a little bit about the loss to Genji yesterday, saying, well, we weren't really surprised. We kind of expected it, but today is a new day. Coming into this series versus Optic, Whalers told me, well, we know it's going to be hard, but at least we've got our best map 3 times in a row, which is Frequency. So, as we can see, that is already working out for them so far here on map 1. Now, over on the side of Optic, I caught up with Crim6, and, you know, really with him, the conversation was all about redemption. He said said at Fort Worth, we did not play like, you know, we were not a top 12 team at Fort Worth. So we're coming in here trying to get some redemption, and really just the vibes on the team were really good today. He's saying that they're all glad to be back here. They like the format of cross division, playing for a week, and they're just feeling really good. And he told me, you know, honestly, he said that Optic was expecting an easy game here versus Denial. So let's see if they can turn things around. Ben and Chance, back over to you guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Jess. Always good to hear what the players had to say before the game. Of course, if you're just tuning in, frequency, then maybe a Seaside payload if the series goes further. Denial 1-0 up against Optic Gaming. Now we head over towards a frequency search, which there could be maybe if obviously I said 3-0 chance. If Denial take this, based off what we saw yesterday with the frequency control when E6 ran through Optic Gaming, maybe a 3-0 for Denial. Maybe I just got the team right.
Dude, we are so topsy-turvy right now. We were 50 seconds into the first map, and we're like, yeah, what's map number 2? Chalk it up like it's over, and then obviously Denial win. Like, no 3-0s. Ben, we only cast game 5s. Again, it's going to be a competitive series, and if you look at what Optic did on this map specifically, okay, sorry, setup jumps in. 3 round 11s for Optic Gaming on this map. They always play hyper-competitive games. It was a round 11 and a round 10 from Denial. Denial was 0-2, but again, hyper-competitive. Optic was 2-1, which is great, but all round 11. So again, Ben, this is 2 top teams going at it.
It's funny because it was very similar to E6 and Optic Gaming's first search and destroy yesterday. A lot of 1v1 situations towards the end. Admittedly, that one wasn't as close, but 2v2. 20 seconds on the clock. Dashy, well, there's a shot point for you. Can you get one more? Tries to stay alive. Brezzy shuts him down. TJ, the Iceman. ICR on sub. 10 seconds. As he played. Brezzy like a fiddle. Oh my lord. A gunfight you expect TJ to win 9 times out of 10. That, of course, the one time.
The problem with the gunfight is he has to move towards the bomb while killing the guy so he can get there in time. So that's why he's not ADSing. That's why he's hip firing and jumping backwards. So he's going for the win, not just the kill. So I respect the play. I think the biggest issue for him at the end is just peeked a little bit too soon. He wanted the information to see if the guy's coming through a hallway or wrapping around one direction. But then as soon as you peek in the guy's shoulders, he's like, oh, I don't have to push up for another 5 or 6 seconds like I have all the time in the world. So it's a tough spot to be in, but I think TJ made the right play. I think, what was it though? Nameless said on the desk, the best first blood rate we have in the Pro League right now is Denial. Yep. They get the first blood, they win the round. And then Crim does that.
That's the exact opposite of a first blood. There's 2 for Optic Gaming. At least 1 will be traded, but TJ keeps the 2-man advantage as he finds a pick onto Brezzy. Crim mid-map. Just taking over this round of Search and Destroy like he so often has throughout his career. 4 versus 1, all down to Risk. And you can see he's making his way off the map.
Just the first blood king right now, the battle of the first bloods at the very least. And of course, we'll see what Crim was able to do in the best play. I'm assuming just mid-map. Sprint straight mid-map, kill one guy, turn and breathe the next. And looks like Crim definitely had some teammates with him as well. Or just double challenge mid, and Crim takes 3 bullets and kills 2 people. I don't even know how much help he had, and then he just sits there and waits for his free 3rd kill.
Freed's gonna get Whalers challenged. Landed a couple of shots, but
he tried.
Just not enough. Just not enough. A 3-kill round for Crim. Gonna aid him on his journey towards Vision Pulse. Of course, we saw him lose 0 yesterday in Search and Destroy. That was on Hacienda, I believe. But no 0 today. Keeping it basic and as you would with that Vision Pulse. As Karma peeks mid, it's Risk's turn with the ICR to connect with First Blood.
Shoulder peek not quite on point. Of course, now Denial with that First Blood has the option to do whatever they like, and it looks like they are going to be soloing to wrap this over towards B. Dashy does switch away from the sniper to have the Maddox, but again, he's just playing for information in this situation, not necessarily the kill, because you know he's going to be challenging the entire team that's surging forward. Crim 6 over top, able to find 1. Denial maybe thinking about setting up the double challenge. Brezzy actually in a rough spot. Gets the stun, might try to push forward. TJ coming to the flank. Whalers been watching the entire time. Dashy, just too many players on this screen. Denial making no mistakes. They get the first blood. They're trying to secure the round. Natche, though, does get caught mid-map. Maybe a small opening for Optic.
That's a great read by Crim. Makes it a 3v2, still advantage Denial as Scump runs into a bit of trouble and he evades. Bomb down at A. Optic players coming from you, and Crim is not missing. There's the pick onto Brezzy, and at this point you may just say, hop the bomb, and that's going to be the game plan for the Scump as Crim goes down. Are they going to check it? Yes, they are. Scump goes down. Denial back to a 2-1 lead.
Crim kills fast.
He's snapping, yes.
I don't know if Scump helped him with on that kill like back.
I don't think it did.
That would be tough for Denial, and that honestly would have been a massive round for Optic to get because it seemed like they had no hope in it. They were in a 2v4, and then Crim just starts finding kills. I tried to say, I was like, Denial's not making any mistakes, and then player dies, and I was like, that's not even a mistake. They're just getting, like, beamed. Like, not much he can do, but...
Crim shoots straight.
Yes, he does.
Very, very straight. But 2-1 Denial. They still win the round after another first blood, so 100% first blood wins the round. Percentage in this game of Search is Dashy Sniper Rifle out, and he really just tried to get that first blood drop there on Denial, but it doesn't work out. Nade for nade. I don't think you'll see either player really full unless TJ wants to try and push all the way through, but that's brave. You still have Dashy with the sniper looking over the top as we await the first blood.
Trade is going to be in. Dashy's still waiting to find someone with the sniper. Unfortunate for the team kill. The shot is going to be missed. He got a 3v3, and Dashy, again, is just going to be pinned down. Still, though, not a lot of time, but Whaler's able to find a kill. Dashy's still not connecting. He's got to hit the shots. Finally, he hits one, but the pressure's coming on. They're surging forward. All of a sudden, 1v1, and I think Scump gets both players, well, he kills one, and the next guy weak enough to make the job easy for Dashy. So, big plays coming all the way around, and probably the tip the cap to Scump, being able to do the damage for 2.
I mean, it was a little scary. Yeah, Dashy actually gets the hit marker here as he peeks around the corner.
Oh, is that what
likes
it was?
him? Yep, and then just challenges instantly with a pistol. So
okay, never mind. No
Dashy
tipping cap to Scump. Hey, Dashy, nice shooting, man.
Took Dashy a while, though. Let's be honest. He was firing a lot of sniper shots over towards that site, not connecting with much, but finally made it work. Connects with a couple of shots towards the end, the important ones, and we're back tied 2-2. As to now back on the attack this time. It was going to be a fast A push, and Optic Gaming ready and waiting. Engineer will, I believe, help assist with the spot of the trophy. So as soon as they see that, they say, all right, well, hold on a minute. There's probably going to be a presence over towards you. They wrap it out. So Bomb, a very quick A push to a very fast rotation over towards B. Trade of first blood makes it a 4v4.
Bomb has the fastest hands in the world. He's able to beat that player down before he falls. Dashy, though, does get caught out. The pressure just soaring straight through B. They have just poured over the site, clearing everything out. And now they're just getting the bomb down. They know the players are going to be mid because they've cleared one side out. Maybe watch the flank. And while the flank is actually going to be there, Whalers loses the ICR gunfight. Now, of course, you're not on the right side to even check this bomb. Players trying to surge forward. They're both going to get picked. All of a sudden, 1v1 ICR up top. That is not the gun you want, and Nat Shea had the advantage. And you'd imagine that Optic should be able to clutch those up, but no, Denial in the 2v3, the ICR just come out on top.
And you're going to get to see it all from his perspective. First is Scump. Second, I want to say was TJ, and then the final kill here. Onto Crim. A wonderful clutch, and that bomb, it's worth mentioning, was planted with about like 0.1 second before the planter actually died there. So a little bit of lady luck on Denial's side. Gives them the lead once again. Advantage Denial, 3-2. Optic back on the attack.
Looks like mid-map pressure is what Optic's going to be surging for. A couple players not quite underneath in cages yet. Maybe you want to push it forward. Actually, they're just going to cut through the window. TJ's leading the charge. And he's through. He's behind the lines. He's got the SOG as well. You got to finish the gunfight. He has Crim for the help. Scump, though, with the bomb does fall, but you got to find TJ as well, who just gets cleaned up. And, well, now it's a 3v3. The bomb isn't down in a terrible spot, but Dashy's got to be worried about his teammates while Crim just continually picks up kills mid-map and just feeding to his teammates. Crim has been a man on a mission, it seems, on frequency. And, well, Whalers actually, if he gets timing, might have a free kill. Dashy, a little bit of lady luck, as you put it, on his side. And should be around. Optic gets.
Should. Whalers scrambles away. I think he's realized this is a little more difficult than me have originally thought, as Crim is watching all the angles, and Whalers goes for a dip off the map. Optic Gaming, keep it close. Tied up, 3-3.
And that would have gotten very nerve-wracking for Optic if Dashy gets caught trying to jump that bomb down. Because if you drop that bomb up top mid when both players are lower and Whalers is up top, he's like, interesting. I could just hang out here for 15, 20 seconds before a rotation possibly comes in, but they get the job done. And again, off the back of Krim mid-map, picking up a couple kills and helping his teammates get there as well.
Back over to Denial on the attack. Originally, it was an A push that came into the start of their last attack, and obviously Engineer saw the trophy, so they were able to rotate straight out this time. They don't spot anything just yet. Krim playing back elbow with the ICR, looking for a first blood. Next with a couple of shots, but remember, he is 8 and 4. You summed it up perfectly. He's having a great performance here on the frequency search, but first blood comes in form of Karma on the other side of the map. Natshade drops, and 2 players from Optic can now surge forward. It's going to be Karma and Dash need to make sure they don't get two-pieced, as he was only able to find one. Makes it now a 4v2. Advantage, Optic Gaming, 2 players from down mid-map. TJ finds the first. It's a 1v4. Zeke, this is simply not going to happen. Scump with the trade, and Optic win the round.
That's just a great setup for Optic. I think every single gunfight, except for TJ's one-on-one he had up top window, was a 2v1 challenge coming in. Karma and Dashy, what is it, working over at the B site, pushing through.
Yep.
You find one player out, that would be the 2v1 challenge. And what happens when they push up? Another 2v1 challenge for the trade. That was just, again, a very good setup coming in, a nice counter strat to handle what Denial brought to the table.
Yeah, and again, Optic with the advantage. Can they now try and early spiral it a lot of control? Of course, they are 1-0 down in the series. Very good game one, but when you put 2-round cushion between yourself and Denial, you put yourself at map point. Just need one more. It's a very big round here for Optic Gaming, and it's going to be Zeke that gets the first blood. That's the ICR of Krim. Karma finds risk elsewhere, though, so forces the 4v4. It is Optic on attack. Bear that in mind as they're forced to wrap away from the B site. Comes for a full rotation all the way through the back of the spawn. It's as if the rotation has been red, though. You see Zeke to rotate as well. He's number 1 on the minimap. Natshade number 2. He's bottom middle, and Optic, they may have been red here.
Of course, Optic also has to be worried about the flank, so they give up complete pressure at B. They don't know where it's going to be coming from. Dashy, by the way, well, that's why his teammates bait for him, because he does hit shots like that. TJ's already got this elbow control. He got players up top. Karma, though, trying to watch the flank. He had everything to look out for. So he's going to fall. He got a 3v3 bomb down. And keep in mind, Dashy with a sniper and a pistol, and he can just do it with both.
TJ shuts down Zeke to another 1v3. This time, it's on Whalers. They know where he is. Doesn't look like it just yet. Now they definitely do. He pushes over towards you. He should almost certainly be dead. Is Dashy going to go for the quick snipe? Not going to connect with it. And with 15 seconds, if you're Whalers, you've got to get off the map now. There it is. 2-round cushion for Optic Gaming. 5-3 as they look to tie up the series here, Chance.
And I think, what was it? They just catch a player out over towards the B site with a 4v1 challenge. It might have been 4v2, but then they go for the fast wrap. And obviously, we see that Karma has problems watching the flank because you got to be full flank mid-map. A lot of things because he needs to protect Dashy mid-map. But what is Dashy doing inside of you? His teammates are peeking out, baiting. Oh, there's a guy elbow. Not for long, and you take care of business. So, again, a couple nice little strats coming out from Optic, making some decent plays, and now 1 round away from tying the series up.
Denial back on the attack. They need to win 3 rounds. Back to back. Try and take this game to give them a 2-0 advantage, but TJ with the first blood makes that task a little bit harder. And TJ, of course, does have his grav slam as well. If anyone drops down low, expect to see that almost instantly popped. Couple players over towards you. Stump peeks, throws out the stun, connects, now chance to heal. Is he going to push forward? Nope. Can hang around on the bomb. TJ now pushing in over towards you. There's the nade. He knows there's one more player there. Fortunately for him, he will fall, and Zeke actually gets 2. So it looked as if it could be a relatively straightforward round. Now all of a sudden a 3v3. The rush is going to come through. The stun connects, and Risk, oh sorry, Zeke is still alive. Risk was there to save him. From a 3v3 to a 3v1 in the blink of an eye. All comes down to Karma. 1v2 with the shot punch on a Whalers. Bomb down. Looking to make the play. Both players line up. It's a 1v1. Zeke forced to use Vision Pulse.
Go stand on the bomb. If you get the vision pop, you go stand on the bomb, you try to defuse it, and just try to bait it out. When it comes to like scan you, you hold it and try to get this player to come forward. And Zeke, though, well, he can see through walls. So those are easy gunfights for him. And again, when players can see through walls, Karma, there's not a lot of plays you can make, and even the best plays are not good for you to have to be forced to do. But either way, for a round that Optic Gaming should have won before these players get caught out mid-map, at the very least, they're able to burn the Vision Pulse, so a small victory despite the round loss.
You almost have to use the Vision there from a 3v1 where you're like, oh, we got this. Guys, why am I in a 1v1 against Karma? Like, what happened? Where'd you all go? 5-4 though, still advantage Optic there on the attack. And the intent looks as if the bomb making its way over towards B. Whalers is going to have all that information in just a second.
Of course, though, a lot more passive play coming out for Denial. They've had a couple times where they try to get aggressive on defense and, again, just get challenged, picked apart, and 2v1s, 1v2s, of course, a couple players creeping up on some streaks, but Optic Gaming, bomb down for free, bomb playing or get out with their life. We saw a situation where Dashy was in the back with the sniper. This time, everyone's alive. Probably doesn't even need it. They got a full setup. Mid-map, though, TJ just gets caught out. Zeke is waiting for it, but now you got a player going on the full flank. But while Dashy's flanking, everyone else is dying. Bomb site control the way of Denial. Pressure's on Optic. They got to go.
And Zeke won't get his streaks. That's going to be important. Now the flank for Dashy is in full effect. It's a 4v3. You would expect at least Dashy to find one. As he does, he's escaped with his life. 2v2, 2v1. It's all down to Dashy at the back. Natche's there, has a support of Risk, has a nade to work with. As Dashy goes for the challenge, there's the first. The defuse not gonna come through. Dashy with the plays at the very end of the search. It was close, maybe a little too close for comfort, but Optic Gaming tied things up.
Some stressful rounds in there, man. Just a little bit stressful, but Dashy, as you'd expect at times, just making the big plays. And again, that round would have been infinitely different if there was a Vision Pulse on board from Denial. Yeah. It would have been a round 11. So again, you got to even give props to Karma for making things happen in the 1v3 despite the round loss. So again, just big plays all the way around.
It's funny because we say so often how hard it is to clutch in Search and Destroy, and when you're in those 1v3 situations, I mean, even to make it a 1v1, stay alive, and then to your point, to pop that Vision Pulse, to force the Vision out, such a big win that had a massive effect on what was ultimately the final round of that Search and Destroy. But so far, first series of the day, we're all tied up at 1-1. Denial versus Optic Gaming Game 3 after this.
The Call of Duty World League is presented by PlayStation 4, the official platform of the CWL. Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the CWL. And Republic of Gamers, the official monitor of the CWL.
Revamp Game Fuel. Level up the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. First game of the day, Optic Gaming versus Denial. Game one was a very, very close match, that's for sure. The frequency hardpoint goes all the way down to the final hill. Of course, the game two, the search and destroy, very, very close as well. But Optic Gaming come out, they take it 1-1 with a big help coming with our Scuff Gaming play of the game, the Dashy two-piece to kind of close it out.
Well, he actually got the first one there as well, so he's getting a bunch of different kills on the map as well. But situation stands, 12 seconds is the one advantage Dashy has. He knows he only has to win the first one-on-one gunfight, which, credit to Risk, gave it his old college try, but 32 health is plenty for Dashy, so the second kill is free. But big plays being made, and I think we saw that set up, maybe 30 seconds in advance of he spent all the time in the world to go for the fullest of full flank spam.
A little risky, but it works out. Of course, game three, frequency control. This was a game and map mode combination where we saw Optic Gaming yesterday get completely blown out the water, but it was against these six who are a tremendous control team.
And I'll also say, I mean, I'm not saying there's casters out there that do this, but sometimes, you see a map go one way on one day, and then you're just like, let's run with this storyline.
I mean,
and then the next day is a different day. So, obviously, Optic Gaming did not look great, but you'd expect them to talk about it, make some changes. They got obliterated, sure.
Okay, there you go.
But I'm saying, it was.
I'm not saying Denial's going to win this. I'm not going to say Denial's going to win this because they're 2-11 in control since the start of the Pro League.
There you go.
So, I'm just saying, yesterday, they weren't very good at it. So we could be in for kind of like a clash of two bad teams playing on this map where it goes all the way down to a round 5.
The opposite of a control type. No idea what that would be, but it looks like Denial's doing pretty well so far. That slight man advantage. Of course, Optic Gaming showing a bunch of different looks to different sites, and Farm eventually just gets taken down. Crim6 with the trade, but it's just going to be, I would say gunfight on gunfight. It's actually Whalers by himself as his teammates pushing through mid. The cluster going to be at least doing damage, but of course he gets clustered himself, and now you just get, it's inside you. You're going to have trades all over the place. People are going to slide and heal and slide and heal, and just rinse and repeat for about 30 seconds.
Shot punch,
yes.
Heal and slide. And
how good is your reaction time?
That's basically what the fight actually comes down to. Zeke's done very well to stay alive. Very well indeed. Round 1, can he make 2? Yes, he can. So at least a positive trade for his life, almost, with the third. As it stands, 50 seconds left. Over 2 ticks in towards A. That's going to be 3. 2 ticks needed for B. But Denial, a full life advantage chance.
Now the question is, do they hunt for kills or try to spawn kill? Because you can see Dashy spawns up. He's terrified of these players trying to focus him, but they didn't focus him. They rat back expecting Optic to bounce back for the pressure, kill everyone there. Now they can turn for the spawn kills, and well, Natshe might just get picked off or stay alive with one. Scump trying to go for the trades. And finally they cleared out their base, but Denial just did a ton of damage. So 7v12 Optic, they're going to need to win by the point.
It's a foot race as well towards the hill. Both teams going to get there roughly the same time. 4v4. A couple of kills go through. Finally, it's contested. The second tick does not fully go through. Resi left shooting at Ghosts. As Optic drop 8v4, the man advantage. However, Optic's inside the hill. A couple of kills quick session. Zeke, contest comes through. Karma goes down. A 1v7 for Dashy is just not going to happen.
And that is very good, and then towards the end, very patient play coming out from Denial, because Optic was close. Halfway through that third tick, they had, 4 bodies on top of it, so you only had another 5-10 seconds to set up the play, and we saw players mid-map being patient, waiting for the slide out, and they got the challenge perfect. And again, Denial might be 2-11, but they do a lot of things right at times. Because even the spawn kills we saw, instead of trying to kill Dashy on repeat, you flood back in expecting Optic to try to help out the guy coming off spawn. They completely wipe them out. Now you have a massive life advantage. You can start to spawn kill yourself. So Denial looking good in round 4.
With the advantage, they now go over towards the attacking side themselves. And it looks as if there's going to be 1 player lingering over towards elbow at A, 2 players pushing directly over towards B, and 2 with mid-map presence. Crim, the first line of defense over towards B. Is it going to be a late push as well by Natshe? Of course, he's number 8 on the minimap. Keep your eye on that fight. Meanwhile, the fight over towards B definitely has been traded back and forth. Finally Optic Gaming win it. Now Natche springs into life. The assistance from mid-map was there. So almost a little bit of a bait off the rip.
Yeah, going for a bit of the split push. I think E6 actually did that very, very well yesterday against Optic, and, well, a bit of more of the same. And now Optic, well, they're just getting picked apart. All of these 1v1 gunfights are coming out Denial's way. They got that slight life advantage. They got the split push going over towards B. And Optic, you're sending players mid-map. Which point do you want? It looks like they're chalking up A, trying to get towards B, which they do take care of Zeke, but now you got to deal with Bregi. Denial's all over the place. They are sending so many bodies over towards B, and they're winning the gunfights in both places.
Now you get streaks, the crash, the Tech 5 used for full streaks. Whalers will be shot in the back, but it's a very small victory. A very small victory indeed, because there is a tick in towards B. You now have the streaks as well to use. You could give yourself a big, big advantage here. As the lightning strike's called in, but Scum and Pakama obviously both with wins is going to slow things down. The life advantage is only at 3. This is by no means done and dusted.
Now the question is, do you want to use the Hellstorm as well? How much of an investment do you make? Right now, Optic Gaming gunfights, maybe turning the tides just a little bit. Whereas Bregi, you can already see setting it up, trying to go on the full flank. And again, this is where the patience is required from Denial to get the timing right of when everyone challenges. Because Optic Gaming, they have everything covered, but they're obviously going to be split. 2 players watching the flank. Bregi is by himself. Needs to stay alive so his teammates can make the move, but Dashy and Scump on the top are winning gunfights as well. And Whalers is going to team kill, which just helps Optic.
And if you're going to streak, that surely makes the perfect time. You have Brezi on the flank, and, well, he's shot by 2 different people. That could be the opening. Instead, Brezi wraps all the way through. He knows 2 players are there, and I guess when you're shooting like that, why even bother dropping a missile from the sky? Denial break inside the B zone. The ticks start to come through once again. The life advantage just at 2. Bear in mind how close Brezi actually is here towards that grab slam. Whalers still with the Hellstorm. They can obviously not invest it here. It'd be best case scenario, but everybody drops except for Whalers, and he's forced to scramble away. 10-10, the life advantage, and Dashy thinking about some spawn kills.
I think that's a missed opportunity, not trying to use that Hellstorm to help you out. And now Optic, again, the tides have turned. Completely stabilized their position. Still only 1 tick away for Denial to get the win, and they do have plenty of time. So the opportunity's still here, and they still have that Hellstorm. And honestly, Bregi, if he waits just another few seconds, we'll have the grab slam as well. Last time they sent 1 player on the flank, this time potentially 2. And again, similar situation. Optic is reading it, but you just don't have information for your Optic. You're playing reactive.
Stun comes through, so you know the pressure's at the back. Karma drops. Are they going to think about trying to spawn kill? Well, that looked as if the play they were thinking about. Natche's trying to push forward. The grab slam is available if he loses, or sorry, if he was to win the fight to potentially collapse through. But all the individual fights won by Optic Gaming, an 8v2. And they're the rounds where I think Denial go back and they watch and they kick themselves because they had a perfect opportunity. Everything set up, a great pinch, potential to use the streak to close out that game. Or sorry, close out that round of control.
I mean, yeah. Even at the end, they had a couple clean opportunities to take your setup, whatever it is. But you get in that situation where you're inside the hill, you got 4 bodies. Whalers, does he need to watch over him in ICR? Not if you have a Hellstorm. You call it in, that clears out the outer lane, and it forces Optic either to fly forward, hoping you get the kills and maybe an errant Hellstorm missile to fall and get a team kill as well, or you just have to sit back, and then you're going to have to flood out anyway. So, again, I think wasted opportunity is correct, but either way, Optic on the defensive end making a bunch of nice plays. They dealt with every single push. If it wasn't a split push, they dealt with every single push very well.
I'll tie things up 1-1. Now we'll go back on towards the attacking side. In terms of specialists, the Tech 5 boost obviously used right off the rip. You still have Brezi with the grab slam for Denial. That is about it. Dashy has his Tempest. TJ has his grab slam, and Karma is very, very close to the War Machine. You're going to see the Hellstorm used straight off the rip here. Is it going to get anything? I mean, well, TJ, with the assistance of his teammate there, just shreds straight through Natche. The Hellstorm doesn't really do much, and the assault over towards the B zone is very much on.
Whalers is able to find 2 kills. TJ still behind enemy lines, does get traded out though, so the Hellstorm maybe a little bit strange, ineffective, but the gun skill certainly not, and Risk is able to find another 2 as well, surging forward. Zeke looking for some spawn kills. Optic though sitting there waiting for it to happen. And of course now we are obviously to the point of the game where specialists will be galore. There's the grab slam for number 1, but that's all it gets you.
Tempest is obviously out. Meanwhile, TJ, the other side of the map, he's found himself 2. He has his own grab slam, tried to do it the old-fashioned way. Unsuccessfully. Well, successfully at B. Dashy shuts down Natche. pull out the Tempest here if he wants to push all the way through. Be a little bold, and he's going to go for it. This is the first shot. Wasn't incredibly accurate as you're used to seeing him in the hard point. And actually making it very, very difficult. Of course, on the other side of the map, it is going to be contested. Brezzy wins both those fights. There is just one player over towards B. That's Scump capping it. Dashy's Tempest now over halfway through. I've done a very good job of just kind of wasting the Tempest almost.
Well, I mean, at the very least, you use the Tempest to get the point. That's the ultimate goal of when you use a specialist, is like not to get kills, but to win the game. So the objective does go their way. It does force Denial away, but Denial does the smart thing and don't throw away their lives. You still have the gravity slam to break into you if you need it, but right now, Denial, no one stacked inside. Optic Gaming again, just trying to find out all these players. Denial constantly in their base, but Brezzy falls off the map. Zeke is going to get traded. The opening's here, and again, gravity slam for the front end if they flood in.
War Machine is out. Risk's found 2. Risk found 3. Risk almost found all 4, but Nache was there to assist. And if it wasn't for that War Machine, that could have been very, very problematic for Denial. The life advantage at 4. And all of a sudden, Denial flying straight forward. Scump will be stunned, as will Zeke. Zeke with a little bit of support, but they have Optic Gaming pinned in the back of the base. The kill's still coming through. The life advantage gets a little bit bigger before the green wall starts to slay back. 6 with 60 seconds left is the life count advantage that we have. Risk just being so annoying to play against. Puts Optic Gaming down to their final 5 lives.
Optic Gaming, though, they know players in orange, and honestly, that's the biggest problem. You have to constantly watch your back and fight forward, so the trades are going to be that much more difficult. You do have 2 players in the hill, but again, Nache is now mid-map, floating around, and just one wave of gunfights. That is all the Denial needs to get. Just get those trades, and Nache is going to be able to get 2. Dashy by himself, and they secure the round. The War Machine came up big. Yes. The Vision Pulse came up bigger. But at the same time, Vision Pulse now for Optic Gaming, but obviously you're going to have to start using some of those specialists and come back into this game.
You still have the grab slam from TJ for a minute there. I was thinking, well, if 2-3 people slide in at the same time, TJ's eyes may widen just a little bit. Could have pulled the trigger. Would have been a little ambitious, that's for sure, but you never know.
And that's just how big that War Machine for Miskra is, right? Like, you need that map control, because if the other team gets in you, then you're taking horrible gunfights. If you can force your way into you, then you have the better gunfights. And it was that War Machine and then the Vision Pulse that set up the spawn trap. And again, the players that stayed alive in orange for that long meant Optic couldn't just flood to the hill and focus forward. They had constantly watched their back. It makes everything tougher. And, well, here's the grab slam. Good enough for 1. And I have to imagine that was done by Denial on purpose.
Yeah. Completely, right? There's no way you're going to send that many bodies over towards A. You're going to say, all right, who's being the sacrificial lamb to start the round? In terms of how the round has started to develop, 3 kills quickly over towards B. Already a tick in. Scump will shut down Whalers, looking for the trade. Scump falls on the other side of the map. It's that split push. It's that pressure on both sides. How is Optic going to handle it? Well, there's 4 players over towards A. 1 is now rotating over towards B. I believe the tick didn't go through at B, so that can be decapped. But in terms of what is capped, A's gone.
It definitely does seem like the plan for Optic on defense is give up A. If it comes down to it, if the split pushes in, like on Gridlock, everyone gives up A, you focus on B. So I think they're well thought out, and we have seen a couple defensive stands from Optic over towards this B site, but now you got a full map spread. And again, the biggest question is, do you have to use the Vision Pulse and War Machine for Optic, or do you try and save it for this next round? But that just puts pressure on these gunfights with TJ coming up behind, basically 3 players, if not all of them, able to take down 2 with them. But Optic, for the moment, completely forced in their base.
And here's the problem. Look at the spawn trapping that's about to go down. Krim with 1, but Zeke is still there. Scump's trying to sniff him out. Was that enough to deflect pressure? Well, Dashy pushed all the way through to make sure that no one from Denial could just hop onto the hill for free. So no progression through. Vision Pulse, of course, used. Dashy waiting for the support of his teammates. And I mean, if you're Denial, your saving grace here is that Optic used it a little early. They still get 4 kills, and they push forward. But all it takes is 1 wave of kills here for Denial, and that B zone is very, very scary.
Well, they're just getting spawn killed right now. This is Optic just forcing it in their base. They're trying to clear it out. Brezzy able to get 2, and finally they take Krim as well.
The scare.
And now it's the foot race. They're back to the B hill before Optic is.
Brezzy's getting a little closer towards another War Machine. Karma pulls out, or sorry, Brezzy close to another grab slam. Karma pulls out the War Machine and another team kill. It's the 2nd of the series for Denial with a trophy system popping and killing a teammate. A little unfortunate, obviously. not much you can do about that. Scump controlling bottom middle. He will fall. 9-9, 37 seconds, failed shot punch, 3 players dead for Optic. Dashy tagged up as well. Grim mid-map could be the saving grace for Optic. As he shuts down Brezzy, finds the second. There's Zeet, one to his left, not gonna find it, but did he do enough? Did he buy his teammates enough time? 1.5 ticks through. Optic down to their final 5 lives. Make it 4, make it 3. Natche going off for denial. It's a 6v2. The Tempest is out. The Tempest is dealt with. Dashy with a double. The grab slam with 1. Dashy for the 1v4. It's almost impossible. Almost the key word. Dashy has to get in the zone. He isn't going to be able to do so. And Denial take the game. Advantage them in the series up 2-1.
And they're just clean, man. They just do a lot of things right, from 2-11 as of late to the milestone of 3-11, moving on up.
But you get that 3rd win and they all follow from there.
And again, I kind of look at it in a vaguely similar way to the hard point. It's just the specialist battle was like so much cleaner. Like Denial doing the smart things of like at the start of the round, you burn TJ's graph slam, right? You send one body over towards you.
Right.
What was the play towards the end? TJ grappling over, doesn't even win the gunfight. If he has a graph slam, you get 3 kills there. You win the round. We go to round number 5. The War Machine, it helps you get control of the point, but then you don't win the gunfights. The Vision Pulse, you have to use in a bad spot, which granted, you set up the spawn kills, and you spawn kill okay, but not great. And it seems like everything Denial did was just a little bit better.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Just a little bit. And the frequency control worries, I guess, for Optic Gaming 2 days. They've managed to lose 2 of them. Now, though, we get to that point in the series where we don't have to watch frequency anymore. We've had it for the first 3. We can change things up a little bit, go over towards some new maps. But as it stands, Denial, they're up in the series. Here's how that one ended. Natche with the double inside the zone gives him such a big advantage. He pops his Tempest here. It doesn't really matter too much because he whiffs both. I think this is where it got a little scary. Then the grab slam from Brezzy. A 1v4. Players in the hill. It's almost impossible. You're just not going to see it.
And again, it's just a super tough situation for Optic to deal with. Like all the defensive stands that they had, they just had everyone stacked up around B. But what happened? What does Denial do at the start of that final round? Well, once they get A, they just go to spawn kill. Right. Play for the spawns, don't go for the point. If they want to set up on B, that's fine, but we'll just kill these players endlessly. Optic trapped in their base, and then you have foot race after foot race inside the hill, and this is when you have to panic and use the Vision Pulse and the War Machine. And Denial made sure that every specialist that got used against them was used from a bad spot, or not a great spot, forcing out an awkward time. So all the big plays you see with graph slams here and there, they dealt with them very, very well. So again, a well put together team.
Really well played. Those little decisions they made in that control, everything going their way, and it's been a good series so far. If you're a neutral, and if you're an Optic Gaming fan, I'm sure you. Heart's kind of in your mouth, it's pounding a little bit as you head over towards a seaside hardpoint. We all know how crazy a seaside hardpoint can be. I feel like we haven't really had a crazy seaside though, really since Vegas. I can't think of one that we've had in the league.
We've definitely had 100-point comebacks. I know we like UIU, for example, we were talking about they were down by a lot. Photo starts going off. So we've definitely had a couple, but not to the same degree. Not to the same scale of the pure and utter insanity that was Seaside over towards Vegas. But it's been a while since we've seen Optic play on this map. And I think this is part of the conversation of they haven't played it, I don't think, a lot as of late. And I don't know if it's being banned against them, but either that or they're not choosing to play it. But one, how fearful are you when every single time Optic plays this map, it goes completely down to the wire? But of course, at the same time, how fearful are you of a team that clutches every single time?
Very, very true. Early advantage, Optic Gaming. Gunfight's one to start off the hard point, and they're going to milk the early time. Still 30 seconds before we have to worry about the rotation. And if you deny, you're just going to have to try and flood straight through. That was Brezzy who found Karma, and well, the grapple jump took him off the map. The problem is, for Denial, Scump already starting to work towards some streaks at 3:55. He may just try and rotate a little early. Tagged up mid-map, does very well to stay alive. Retakes the fight, wins the gunfight. Denial, very much like game one, starting off very slow. Could be in some trouble early.
That's what I was going to say. This is perfect right now from Optic Gaming. Doing everything right, making sure you lock down the spawns, pushing up just far enough into barrels so you can take good gunfights for you. You got players stacked up. They're doing everything right, but they have been come back on before. Of course, the streaks right now for Scump, who's trying for the moment. 50 away, doesn't quite get the kill. and is going to play it patient. Waits for his teammates. Karma there for the trade, and that gives them lightning. So played very well from Scump, who, of course, 10 points away from the Hellstorm. There it comes.
So deja vu.
The exact same
deja vu.
frequency.
This time it's Krim, 6-3. He's doing his best Karma impression from game 1. Scump still yet to die. Finally drops as to now break through. Took a double from Zeke, but you've already dug yourself into such a big hole. Scump with 2 streaks. I say such a big hole. They managed to climb out of it barely in game 1. Natche, close to streaks of his own, will get at least a lightning. A little unfortunate. Risk had to shoot there. The team kill, annoying, yes, but it was almost essential just to try and clean up that final kill. Optic, though, a 70-plus point lead. They're saving grace for Denial as they've rotated early, and you may burn a streak early.
Well, this is interesting. He's caught in the Hellstorm. Risk is actually behind everyone. Scump should call this out, so someone's got to turn around. You don't kill the guy on the back, but you do find 2. Question is, where do they spawn? Well, in the back, because you weren't there quick enough. So the Hellstorm gone. Now Denial starting to spawn out because you get the map pressure, but now you're not winning the gunfight. So not easy to break into the hill, but they're trying to do it from the front. Scump again was able to pick up 2. Now Zeke is at the pressure. Krim, of course, in the back, gets taken down, trying to make the big play. Dashi is there. And now I think it's actually, Natche calling in the streaks to find nothing. This is everything going well for Optic.
That lightning, wow. It almost directly hit a player from Optic Gaming at the back there and didn't actually clean up the kill. So a little annoying for Denial, that is, but for Optic Gaming, I mean, well, a little thankful, I guess. A 100-point lead is developed as we rotate over towards barrels. And Optic still just slaying as they rotate through. Zeke again with a double. Desk obviously talked a little bit about his need to step up. I think he's done that and some this series. Bear in mind throughout all of this, though, Scump still does have that lightning strike. Only invested the Hellstorm.
I mean, yeah, probably going to use it in the exact same situation. So just keep that in mind for the next 3.5 minutes. But honestly, we might not even get there.
Don't say it. Maybe. Don't say it.
Outside of his streak that doesn't spawn the team out instantly, which granted, I think they made the right call because Risk is coming on the flank anyway. Outside of super small things, it has been nothing but Optic just on as point as possibly be. I mean, of course, Denial is trying to bounce back inside the hill, but again, you're going to have to deal with the gunfights, which eventually the trade should be there. But either way, it's just such a massive lead that, Ben, there's no way.
Still a lot of seaside to go. A lot of seaside to go, and if Denial is going to do it, well, now would be a good time to, you know, shift into that gear. Because Optic, they've rotated over towards the new hill, and ready and waiting. And this was the same setup, almost identically, that Denial tried to break the end of the scrap time for him, where greatly unsuccessful. Brezzy grappled off the map. This time, no. Optic in the gunfights, just like last time. Pressure still coming in towards the hill. Optic still in the hill. This is getting a little out of hand here, gents. This is what I expected in game 1.
Well, that's what happened in game 1, just for not long enough, let's say.
Will Optic be able to close this one out? I'm sure they're frustrated, as always. And again, it is worth mentioning, it is me and you, so we kind of expected a game 5. We could say anything, you know, it's going to be a 3-0 guaranteed, but we know it's going to go to game 5 anyway. I keep saying we should ask the players just to skip 1, 2, 3, and 4 and just go straight to game 5. Save everybody the time.
Until I see 250, I don't want to say any game is over from now on. But of course, Karma with the War Machine, if not killing them, keeping them at bay. His teammates should be here for the reinforcements. Krim is able to trade out 1.
They have 39 points.
No, 40. Look, I'm just saying, we said it was over in game number 1, and it wasn't.
This is over.
Okay, yeah, no, this one's over. They got the hill, they got the grab slam up top, and you still have the lightning to break the next hill as well. Obviously, the Tempest is going to be a little bit helpful, if not just the SOG winning. Okay, so map number 5.
Yes, payload?
Yes, it is payload.
Correct? Yeah, more streaks as well for Dashi here. Maybe he connects with one of these, which, I'm going to be honest, he's been a little off with his Tempest this morning.
I think that's just the nature of the Tempest, man. It is just literally hit or miss. It is literally a hit or miss specialist, but again, big plays can happen, but it is not going to be nearly as consistent as what we have seen in the past. But either way, Denial, the good news for them is they did well enough on that hill that they didn't lose the game there. The bad news is it's going to be, what, a little bit less than 20 points for Optic to win, and Scump, of course, sitting on the lightning strike.
And there's the ping. Holds it, uses it, and now pushes forward. Finds one, that's Natche. Has he done enough to influence the spawns? Well, he's in the hill, and that is enough. Denial spawning over towards P1, but they break the hill after Brezi's double with the grab slam, so Denial's teammates that fell in the initial fights will spawn in. We could be looking at a miracle chance. But you're going to need so many things to go right. So many things. I mean, you're looking at one of the biggest comebacks ever in any esport. And, well, I say you need things to go right. That's a start. A botch grab slam and 5 dead.
That is a very tough fountain. That's going to be able to do its job. And again, a lot of things to go right. Another small victory for Denial is they did not lose the game on the old hill, but you actually have a player, Crimsix, that is thinking about fighting for the time. He's actually going to go for it, wins the one-on-one. And granted, Zeke's comes back to win the gunfight, but still an extra 2 seconds that Denial doesn't get. You could do that exact same thing on every single hill, and you'll eventually win this game.
I can't. Chance, I can't.
They need to get the final 2 seconds of the next 5 hills, and they win. And you can give pretty much the rest of the time to Denial, and Optic still has it.
Well, that's a streak that I talked about. Can you get more? Well, you need the kills first, and tell you, a streak isn't going to help you too much in barrels because it's inside. The War Machine might, though. Trophy's out. I'm just trying to find the angle. Connects with hit marker. It's baby steps for Denial. You got to give yourself mini goals. All right, first let's get to triple digits. Try and get to 100 points. Then we'll worry about 150, then 200. But Optic break through with 27 seconds left. Crim can invest the vision pulse here and close it out. The challenge comes through. 3 more points, all up to Gaming need, and that's where they're gonna get them. They tie up the series. 2-2. I would have loved a bit of a comeback there. Denial made it at least a little interesting, gave us something to talk about, but it's game 5.
They put their foot on the gas. They did not let up. You have a fantastic start. You do everything right. You go up by 60, win 2 hills back-to-back. You get the streaks, and then you use them effectively, and you get the break, and yada, yada, yada. That is as dominating of a map as you'll see.
It definitely is. The games really, besides that, have been relatively close. Denial, as I said, tried to make a comeback, but this one, it was almost destined. A game 5 written in the stars. We'll be back after this with Search and Destroy on Payload.
The Call of Duty World League is brought to you by Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, the official beverage of the CWL. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the CWL. And TCL, America's fastest growing TV brand.
Game 5 time, Optic Gaming, Denial. A payload search and destroy to decide which of our two teams will come out victorious. Here's a look at the series so far. Started with a Denial victory, 250-239. Then the frequency search, very, very close to nail by the 6-4. A dashy 1v2 at the end to close things out. Then, of course, the Control, a 3-1 victory by Denial. The last hard point, well, if you're a Denial fan, we won't talk too much about it. It was very, very one-sided indeed. Now we get to payload, though, Chance. This is the map yesterday. We saw Optic in the same situation, a Game 5 against E6, come out victorious, and I think it was like a 6-2 victory.
Right, and it's not just that one specific map. Overall, it's been decent for Optic Gaming. Like, they're happy to get this payload for game number 5, but Denial's not unhappy about it either. It's been very helpful for them against Splice in the past. They've taken a couple tough losses as well. I think Gen G beat them like 6-1, but again, it's not a map they're mad at. So both teams should be queued up, toe-to-toe, Game 5, round 11, 1v1 between, pick whoever you want.
Any players. I mean, Zeke's been in great form, but before we dive into the hypothesis, we'll take a look at TJ, still alive, waiting for the first blood, 30 seconds left. The bait isn't enough, or is it? There's one. Dashy keeps the numbers equal. As Brezzy will be traded out, so 3v3. Dashy still looking towards the outside of the map, and I mean, there's a player there for Denial. Is he going to see him? Well, Dashy drops down. Doesn't even need to shot punch because Crim's there. It's a 1v1, though. Crim versus Zeke. 14 seconds. If you're Zeke, you've got to be so quick. He tags up Crim. Your best bet is you throw a stun and you try and stick that defuse. You just challenge for the kill. Doesn't matter. Either way, Crim wins the fight. Optic Gaming, 1-0 up.
You know, I never thought I'd give analysis on this, but I think it's a really good play to lower that platform there. You lower the platform, and that makes the player who's like sitting inside the turbine, whatever you want to call it, inside that little area on the screen to the left, that means they can't just run, slide up behind you, and shoot in the back. They have to jump down, then mantle up to try to kill you. So you're twice, 3 times as safe in that position. That's where Dashy was playing, and you can see he stayed alive for at least a little bit longer. And I think just keeping that guy alive means it's going to have to take an extra couple seconds to try to take you down to clear out the back. And, well, if you have the bomb planted, extra couple seconds is literally the difference maker that wins you the round. So
be everything.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't put too much thought into raising it or lowering it, but I like what I saw.
Advantage Optic. 1-0. Denial back on the attack. And the search and destroy. And there's the first blood for TJ. Will they find a second? The stun. Not enough. And Optic Gaming fall like dominoes, 4v2. Denial working on getting the bomb down. It's all down to Crim and Karma. A duo which, throughout their careers, you've seen make plays. And well, there's a start. Karma with the first. Makes it a 2v3. Crim has 2 plays in front of him. The hip fire just not enough. And leaves Karma in a horrible situation. A 1v3. Really just a ticking time bomb before he falls as he drops. Denial tie things up.
That's just a result of overwhelming pressure. I think, right? Like, you win the first gunfight mid-map, you're thinking first blood, great for Optic, and make sure you don't get traded. But then you have so many players pushing through the bomb, up through heaven, like down that catwalk, that the guy that was helping whoever it was in tunnel with that first blood is forced to back up, and then you just don't win the gunfights. If you want to go super in-depth, I actually really like that Karma didn't heal at the end, because he knows it's 1v3. If you heal now, you're going to get shot instantly again. They don't have stim shot for the third gunfight you have to win. Does it make a difference? No, but Karma does a lot of things very, very well. And it's all about the details.
The small, minute details, which often remain overlooked. Karma does very, very well on a consistent basis, that's for sure.
Or he forgot to heal. But I'm definitely
giving him the benefit. He's at 3 times.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely saying I'm assuming it's the first one. But, like, sometimes you never know.
Brezzy trying to get cheeky with the sniper rifle. Not going to be enough. Optic flood the B site. 2 players going for a long, long flank on the other side of the map. That's not Shane Zeke. Well, you're not going to have much time to go for it now. Bomb down, 45 seconds. Try and make the play, at least a trade, but the numbers still in Optic Gaming's favor. Dashy connects with a stun, and somehow Whalers has won that fight. Not sure how, and this was the pressure from the backside of the map. Crim will be spotted. He'll be shot in the back just like that. 3v2, trade again. Zeke now left to try and hunt down Scump. But Scump is out of there. Karma lands some shots down, 19 seconds. Bear in mind, Denial will have to hop on this bomb. The nade is used by Karma as he spots Zeke. He's going to call that out to Scump. He knows that one player is pushing through the nade, and this round is over.
Just good plays from the Optic boys. I think I was very surprised Crim didn't hear the player that was underneath him, because I don't think that guy had dead silence, but you can see the play getting set up as well. Scump is there for the late flank, so if someone does come and kill Crim, he can be there to trade, and then Scump does a nice job of just staying alive. There may have been potential for Denial just to hop on the bomb, but in their head, they're like, okay, we have one guy behind us, one guy in front of us. They can check the bomb from everywhere. So Optic Gaming just making sure to stay alive. And, of course, the time, once again, is going to be on your side.
2-1. Denial, your turn on the attack. And you can see the intent on the minimap pretty heavily here. It's going to be an A push, and it will be a quick one. 4 players from Denial there. First gunfight's already underway. It's Karma up top that will be picked. That allows Scump to fly at Brezzy. They now have the numbers, but for how long? Risk trades out Scump 3v3. And that rotation was almost instant. Jansen Krim, who was at B, now has no idea, but if he checks bomb, that's about as free as a kill Krim's ever going to get. Oh, well, that's a beautiful double.
And then should be the round. Yeah, bomb down the best spot possible. As long as you don't get picked, you should be fine, which Krim narrowly avoids his, for a moment, potentially imminent fate. Risk wants to go for it, though. He actually has a one-on-one gunfight against Dashy, which is the great part about that. It's a 1v1. So if you get the kill, there's more hope in the 1v2 after that. The bad news is that's Dashy on a head glitch pre-aiming you, which, yeah, you just die.
Here's a quick glance again. And Krim making the play. A little bit of timing on his side as he peeks over towards the bomb. Finds the planter and his teammate as well to force the 3 versus 1. Optic win the round. Optic with the advantage here in the game 5. It's going to be their turn to go over towards the attack. It's a 2-round cushion they've earned. 3-1 the score. And if they win this round here, all of a sudden it's looking not the best for Denial in the game 5.
Denial probably needs to find a way from just preventing the bomb from get planted, because it's been a problem for them twice now where it gets down and then you just don't have enough time to make the correct plays to get the win.
You do have the nade to work with here this round for Denial, so if they are quick enough at reading the rotation, you can maybe try and launch that out over towards the bomb. Brezzy now with all the information he needs. But you've got to get the utility over towards the B side. That's where the push is going to come through. Risk has fallen off the map. That's twice that's happened here. Now all of a sudden, a 3v2. Advantage Optic. Krim will at least trade that out. Makes it a 2v1. All down to Whalers, who, as I mentioned before, does have a nade to work with. And this is a round you have to go for.
Needs to clutch it. The bomb is not down yet, so Whalers might be just hoping that they wrap back over towards A, which honestly Optic might end up doing. Crim6, it looks like he's taking this bomb straight toward Whalers. If Whalers wins this 1v1, which he does not, that could have been a cataclysmically awful situation for Optic B, and for that round at the very least. But Krim wins the gunfight, so c'est la vie, no problem for them. And of course, Riz falling off the map. I'm just going to double back and talk about the catwalk. It's because it's down. Dashy was up top playing the exact same spot. Risk is underneath him. Then Dashy plays peekaboo, sees him. Risk is like, oh, I'm going to die. So I think he just tries to win the gunfight, focused on that, falls off. Who knows what exactly happened? But Ben, it's all because of the catwalk.
Every league play game now, that catwalk's going to be down. Thanks, Chance.
I wonder how many teams do this, and this is just the first time I've noticed. I have to imagine more than half the teams have a strat similar to that.
I haven't noticed it all too much, but I haven't really casted that much payload. So
it's very true.
This is, what, 2 in 2 days?
Also, I haven't seen it work that effectively. I'm sure teams do it at times, and that's just a different set of execution. But either way, Denial back on offense. A little bit of a spread. Optic has a lot of pressure up top, but they're going to get stunned, and one trade's in. Scump, though, with the 2-piece. However, he does get traded eventually by Whaler, so it is just a tried and true 3v3.
Funny to see the Optic Gaming sniper kind of adaptation in terms of their strategy. If you remember at the start of the year, it was Krim that went top payload, and just some comical tweets that came out saying Krim's never allowed to snipe on payload again. Dashy's taking over sniper duty. As you may expect, maybe a little bit of the norm, or at least in this round, if not permanently on the map. That shape with the win, though. Karma makes it interesting. With 28 seconds left, it's a 3 versus 2. Krim spots Whalers. Whalers will fall. 2v2. Bomb is being planted. Goes down. It looks like Krim's actually going to be right out. Krim has a Sorg in his back pocket. There's the first heal. Turns and almost burns Natche. But it's a 1v1. Dashy, he wins those. Gets the pick. Gets the defuse. Obviously, he has his Tempest as well. 5-1 Optic Gaming. And it's funny, you know, they'll send you to game 5s, but it seems, at least over the past couple of days, when they get to the game 5s, they'll just dominate.
Early prediction, Optic Gaming will win 4 Game 5s in a row, all on payload S&D. That's not, no, it's probably not going to happen. If that happens again tomorrow, someone's just going to ban it against them. I will say, outside of the Game 5, I don't know, destruction from Optic Gaming, how many times have you seen a player go and sit in like that corner that Dashy sat in to clutch like a 1v1 when bomb's down? What? Every time. Players do that every time.
Yeah, slide out and not check it.
I'm going to start pre-firing that.
A little careless, you could say. But a 5-1 lead for Optic Gaming. You can probably breathe a big sigh of relief if you're an Optic Gaming fan, because this one is more than likely over. Dashy, of course, does have his Tempest available to use. He's 6-3 in this search and destroy, but it's been Crim 9-3, leading by example here in the search. Had a relatively poor performance from TJ at 2-5. Comra's been doing his thing at 3-5. He's come even at 5-5 on the flip side. If you deny, you have a whole world of pain because Bomb has already planted at B. It was wide open. Now you have to try and retake time as it's against you. You get the first blood. You shut down the Tempest. TJ has the nade though, and he's looking to bank it off the wall. There's the first. Grav Slam forced to be used. 4v2, 27 seconds left though. Scump will drop. Makes it a 1v4 all down to Optic Karma. He drops as well. Denial stay alive, but he used, obviously, the Grav Slam you saw on the flip side, though. A bit of an investment there from Optic as well.
Yeah, you'll take the trade. You just got to secure the round win. Of course, you're creeping up on the War Machine. The Vision Pulse is nowhere near being there. But, of course, if this ends up going to a round 11, let's say, then eventually he'll get the Vision. But I just think it's a better strat for the retake. I think one time Denial tried to double flank, but they like cut through like the mid-cut thing. Instead, they sent someone all the way around, which Crim was ready for. He made the correct read. He just gets there a little bit, I don't know, too late, I guess would be the right way to phrase it. It's a right idea, good execution from Denial, and just, you know, do that 4 more times.
Easy, right?
No, not in the least bit.
5-2. What do you have? Obviously, the Tech 5 boost for Whalers, and, well, Crim's close to that vision, and you think, really, when he gets that, that's what could see this one done and dusted. Does he even need it, though? That's the question, because Denial will push over towards A. And he'll surely be spotted. Scump is sniffed out. Natche there for the assistance. First blood. Can they find the second? Natche is just Risk's guardian angel, it seems. It's 2 fights. No idea, but he's kept his teammates alive. Risk finally with 1. Optic Gaming, you blink and everybody's dead. A dominant round from Denial.
And Natche just an invisible man on the map killing
Saving everybody.
I think he was playing like over in, again, I don't know what to call that. I call it tunnel, but like it's not a tunnel at all. I think it's like a part, whatever it is, I think that's where Natche was, or I guess he was just down low. Oh, he jumped up with him. Didn't even see it coming out, but it makes a ton more sense now that you get to see it from his perspective. But either way, they need to get 4 round wins in a row. That would be the next one, just 3 more to go.
Baby steps. That's all it is when you're making comebacks like this in Search. It's a pretty miraculous task, that's for sure. But at 5-3, Brezzy working towards some streaks. Let's not forget that. War Machine available, and there's 1, there's 2. Oh my goodness gracious me. It's all gone wrong for Optic Gaming. 3 go down, almost 4. Streaks as well for Denial. Not like this, Chance. Not like this.
They kept
not like this.
The platform was up.
Not like this, Chance. No.
They kept the platform
Not like
up.
this. Not like this.
And that means you get gunned by ICR.
Always put the platform down, folks. That's what Chance has been saying all day.
That's irrelevant to what happened. That's a complete joke by mine. That's just Brezzy being able to get up top and a bunch of players getting tagged up weeks from everyone else.
Or is it?
I mean, it is relevant, but not right there. I don't think that would have been the difference maker.
Oh,
I think that's just Denial pouring on the aggression, making the counter.
Oh, no.
Now is the platform. You're right.
Zeke close to streaks. Brezzy with a streak, close to another streak. Crim is just teetering on the edge of Vision Pulse. He's so close to it, yet so far the problem is so is Zeke. And, well, Brezzy's going to ping the Lightning, and he's going to call it in as well. It's going to force anyone that was A inside. He gets a first blood. Whalers with a second. It's disastrous from 5-1 up for Optic Gaming. They now find themselves in a whole world of misery. It's a 2v4. Bomb is down. It's a 1v4. It's going to a round 11, and Denial have all of the streaks you could possibly need to close this out.
So I don't know if it's like good news and bad news situation. You have a battle right now of streaks versus a vision pulse that Crim6 has now. But Zeke, I don't think has his. To deal with all the streaks, you gotta pour in the aggression inside. Calling the vision pulse, flood through mid. I don't know who's on offense, but if it's Optic, get the bomb down quickly.
Drony play.
And just get it down over towards B. Like, use the vision pulse, get it down over towards B. Zeke there on offense. I think that's the option. You're gonna have to deal with the War Machine and 2 streaks, and Zeke might get his if the round goes on long enough, but they're over towards B, the vision pulse is in, and they're backing up. Do they call in the War Machine to try to get some pop shots out just to slow them down? That might be your best option.
First one is huge, and it goes in favor of TJ. The Hellstorm comes through, a team kill. Oh no, not like this. You did the hard work, and now you're in a pit of your own. 3v5, the lightning comes through. Of course, the War Machine is out. Karma shuts down Zeke, and just like that, it was set up for an unbelievable comeback, and Denial have fluffed it. They've thrown it away. 1v5, Optic Gaming clutch up in the round 11. You thought that maybe it was a time for a fairy tale comeback from Denial, and it just wasn't to be. A few errors in the round 11, and Optic Gaming, well, they'll take that. They'll take that, indeed.
A win is a win. When all said and done, that is just an extra 1 in the win column for this series. And I think, honestly, Optic, you might not be happy with the performances. You might want it to be better, but they're still in a great spot in the Pro League. I think it's 6-3 now overall, 6-3. Maybe good enough for tied for second place in that ballpark. They're towards the top of their division, in a great spot to potentially overtake and get the first place. They're in a good spot for seeding. Game 5, round 11. It's nerve-wracking, but again, a win's a win.
Good spot, yeah, but I think the scary thing is this is the kind of the first time all year where you're looking at them and you're thinking, no, they're beatable. Like, they're very, very beatable. And I think that's a scary thing if you're an Optic Gaming fan, because for quite some time you've had that kind of, oh, well, you know, look at our squad. We have the best team of individual players. Now all of a sudden you're seeing them go to Game 5, round 11, teams making comebacks on them, which at Vegas, of course, it was the opposite way around. It was them clutching up. But congrats to Optic Gaming, I guess. Game 5, round 11. We wouldn't have it any other way. I'm sure the fans probably would, though. But we can send it down to Jess with the PlayStation Instant Reaction with Crim.
Thanks, Ben. That was so close there at the end. How did you bring that back from the brink of disaster?
I mean, we were up 5-1, so got kind of sketchy. They started hitting sites like very quickly, and we just didn't really know what to do. And we sort of realized it on the last round, and the vision pulse definitely helped. But yeah, that was a crazy series. We got to get better.
When we went into this series, you said you were kind of expecting a little bit of an easier game. You know, is it safe to say that was more of a challenge than you anticipated?
Yeah, I think if we win control, it's just completely different. But, you know, a couple lost 1v1s in map 2. Actually, a lot of them, to be honest. So, or not map 2, map 1, sorry. But yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I didn't expect them to play that well. And they were shooting pretty straight, so it was definitely a tough series. We definitely were not expecting that, so hats off to them.
All right, well, so far for the week, you guys are 2 for 2, and I know redemption is something you mentioned, getting that redemption after Fort Worth. Do you feel as though you're starting to get that?
Maybe. No, not yet. I mean, we're not going to get redemption till like the next tournament, but we still gotta prove to people that we're still a top team. And honestly, I think right after this, we're gonna go back and scrim because we gotta fix some mistakes. We gotta honestly just get better overall. So.
All right, well, thank you so much. This has been your PlayStation Instant Reaction. We'll be right back after this quick break.